Hi, this is Pastor Tom again. When we started our series on compassion, I thought it would be a relatively easy journey. After all, I'm a pastor. My job involves being compassionate to people in many different ways, but this has turned out to be one of the most difficult assignments I've ever given myself. In fact, there have been a couple long nights when I ask myself, why did I come up with this idea? Or is there someone else I can attribute this idea to? Fact of the matter is, I have to take full responsibility for the idea of doing a series on compassion. And I also have to ask myself, why has it been so hard for me? Why am I struggling with this? I mean, our first two challenges were relatively simple. We had to do a random act of kindness for a stranger. And the more that I thought about that, I thought, well, that's very easy. I can walk into any kind of a store and simply do something nice for someone, help them with their groceries, pay a little bit on their grocery bill as they're checking out, or help them put the groceries in the car. That's easy. And then the second week was help a first responder. And that really is saying thank you, even though perhaps they haven't provided a direct service to us. We are really saying thank you for the fact they are there if we need them. And they are there to respond when our life goes awry and when we have a problem. So that's really a way of saying thank you. But it's week 3 and week 4 that have me challenged. In week 3, we have to deal with a family member who is difficult. And it doesn't mean we don't love them, we don't care about them, we don't think they have redeeming characteristics. We do, but we have to show them an act of compassion. And in week 4, the ultimate challenge to deal with someone with whom we have a broken, a fractured, a tortured relationship. Why is that so hard? I think it's so hard because we never really understand what compassion is. We often say compassion is simply kindness or saying thank you to someone, but it's not. The true answer to what compassion is found clearly in the Gospels. If we look at Jesus' earthly ministry, it was all about compassion. I love the phrase, Jesus, the Christ, is the compassion of God. And that is so true because clearly what compassion is, it is seeing the world through another's eyes, seeing the world through someone else's perspective, and then doing something very specific. What is that specific thing? It's to be the presence of healing. True compassion is walking into another's life to bring healing and comfort. You know, there's that great storied spiritual. There's a balm in Gilead, and it is held that Gilead was a place that had this very effective healing ointment, a balm that would heal all things. And when we are truly compassionate, we bring that balm into human relationships. When we see through the eyes of someone who is suffering, we see them not sympathetically, but we see them empathetically. We understand how they are seeing the world through a lens of suffering, through a lens of disablement, through a lens of helplessness and dependency. And then we can be present to them in that way. And when we see the person who is suffering from poverty or food insecurity or injustice, if we see the world through their eyes, we can then not minister to them, not minister for them, but minister with them. That is the entire message of Jesus. So, although this will be a difficult challenge as we conclude this compassion series, a challenge for all of us, let us remember that it was the entire message of the mission of Jesus. He came to see the world through the eyes of a suffering humanity. And he entered so deeply into that world that he died for it. But in that act of death and glorious resurrection, there was healing. That is our mission. That is our hope. And that is the essence of our faith. Amen.